Facebook peeps. It's Wednesday night. It's 9 o'clock. It's Chit Chat Shop, and we are here. I know, and it's been 5 weeks since I've been here. We figured I'm a little rusty tonight. We have these fine folks from NovaScotian Crystal here tonight. Would you like to introduce yourselves and what you do at NovaScotian Crystal?
For sure.
And why you're so important.
Yeah, my name is Stacy Latham Murphy, and I do sales at NovaScotian Crystal, and I also do product development as well. So I help bring new products to life with help of the Craftsman and our research and development team.
Very cool. We were flipping through the catalog, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I worked on that." I was like, "Wow,
Yeah,
very cool."
So a lot of sway there. My name is Donnie McIsaac, and I'm the furnace and kiln operator at NovaScotian Crystal. So,
That's a job title for you.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's a little bit. It sounds more important than it is. No, every little bit counts. You know.
Are you the only furnace and kiln operator?
I am the only furnace and kiln operator that
One
works
and
there.
only.
Yeah,
One and only.
Yeah.
Just like our company.
We are
It's
the
true,
one and only.
the
That is
one and
true.
only. We were talking about that. We've got a lot of facts out before the show, so sorry if I'm going to try to say them all. But you're the only hand-blown crystal company in North America or Canada?
We're the first and only multiple and hand-cut crystal makers in Canada.
See,
Right.
they got it down.
Yeah.
I'm just here. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything that we make is handmade from start to finish. So, and there's at least 10 hands that will touch the piece before it actually gets into your hands.
Yeah.
And everybody plays a crucial role in creating that piece.
That's amazing. So how long would like one piece like that glass, how long would that take to make?
I mean, yeah, depending, probably like 3 to 5 days, probably something like that.
In a
one
short
glass?
timeline.
One glass.
One
Yeah.
glass.
Yep. You take 24 hours to melt it down properly. You got the guys have to blow it. You know, it's going to take a few different steps there. Then it has to be annealed properly, is what they call the process of how it cools properly, or your too much difference in between temperatures could make it shatter or whatever. So it makes it hard, makes it bake, cook properly, kind of thing you could say.
So
And
nice.
then it gets on, it gets cut, it gets depending on the piece, finished in different ways. Then it has to get cut nicely. Then it's dipped and shined and polished. Then it's wrapped. Then it's looked at. Some other people take a look at it before. There's quite a long line of succession that makes it all happen. So.
That's
And
awesome.
there's- Yeah, and there's everybody from craftsmen, master craftsmen, as well as apprentices. So we actually have a number of apprentices that recently became craftsmen as well, which is super exciting. So
And how long is that
congratulations,
process?
everybody. The process takes anywhere from about 5 to 10 years. So depending on
That is a commitment.
It is a
You need
commitment.
loyal
Yes.
people.
just like a doctor.
Yeah.
And then we actually had a craftsman become a master craftsman, and that's actually 20 plus years of experience.
Yeah.
So.
And that's all done in-house. Like that's
All
your
in-house.
own program.
All
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a group of craftsmen who help our apprentices and guide them through that to hopefully eventually become craftsmen themselves.
very, very, very cool.
Mhm.
All right. So we're going to do two things tonight. We're going to make a little canapé, hors d'oeuvre entertaining. We're
Delicious.
actually make some stuffed mushrooms. And then we're also going to make a little cocktail. We'll make a mocktail as well, but it's really a cocktail because who doesn't love alcohol in a drink? Yeah. Yeah. So one of the reasons, well, Letty, she recommended mushrooms, and I thought that was a great thing because I think of crystal as like my grandmother's crystal. And when I think of mushrooms, I think of an older style recipe. But we're modernizing the mushroom a little bit, and the reality is that a lot of your crystal is very modern. I was very surprised reading the website and looking through the catalog. You have some amazingly beautiful patterns, and you're constantly reinventing and bringing new things to the table.
Yeah, we have 6 main
Keep
patterns.
talking. I'm going to stick something in
And
there.
they range from really traditional to very modern as well, and they all gain inspiration from Nova Scotia in some way, whether that be through the landscape or the history.
Okay.
So it's something that we really take pride in is our Nova Scotian heritage and being from Nova Scotia. So you can find your pattern and have a connection to that pattern, whether that be through the aesthetic of it or actually having a connection to that area of Nova Scotia.
Ooh, fancy.
And we've released some new patterns within the past couple years as well. There's the Canadian Spirit, which is based off, features a half maple leaf and then has 3 sweeping lines below that to represent the 3 oceans that surround Canada to create its natural borders. And we also
cool.
have the Celebration Pattern, and that's our newest pattern, and it kind of helps celebrate any special moments. And I guess every day can be a special moment.
Every day.
Of course.
Use your crystal
Of course.
every day.
Of
that's
course.
that's
Yeah.
part of it.
Practical.
It's like fine china. It's like great crystal. You should use it. It should be part of your everyday. If you stick it in a cabinet and use it once a year,
No.
that's not.
That's
No.
what it's there for, right?
That's
it's there
not
for
what we
you to
advocate.
use.
Yeah, it's not what we
We're all about using your crystal every day. I like to say, like these tumblers, for instance, will get you from breakfast to dinner.
Yeah.
So you can use them anytime
Orange
of the
juice.
day.
Very
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Cocktail.
A little water.
Yeah,
a little
we
old
got it all
fashioned.
happening.
Lots of options. Lots of
Cool.
options.
So, all right, we're gonna put you to work.
Okay.
All right, this is a really simple recipe. I love stuffed mushrooms, and so we've kept this pretty basic. But you can chop, right, Ronnie?
Where's Chit Chat Chop?
Chit Chat chop.
I gotta
All
chop.
right.
I gotta
All
live
right,
up to the name.
There's really not that much to chop. There's a little bit of roasted red pepper. So we're gonna use mushrooms. We've got cremini here, which are just your brown little. Oh, look at you with the.
I do like it.
I love it. I love
I like
it.
it.
These are actually keto too.
Keto friendly.
All our keto viewers. We have a lot of keto viewers.
That's good.
We've got some cream cheese. We've got some garlic. We've got some parmesan. We've got some roasted red pepper, and we're gonna throw a little fresh herb in there. So we just need to fine dice
Can we
this
dice
up.
these up a little bit?
Dice it.
All right.
Show us your
Dice
knife
it.
skills, Johnny.
Chopping?
Not just a kiln operator.
Chopping?
No, jack of all
Yeah.
trades.
Yeah.
We actually go way back. We realized that, or I realized that tonight
Yes,
when he
it
walked in
took-
the door. I
took
was
some
like, oh wow.
Yeah, we were like, well, I was like, I think I know that lady.
I think I
know
know
what
that
it's all
lady.
about. And I'll tell you what, I had been here when we first started, when Patty first started this venture.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's expanded exponentially. Wouldn't even describe it properly with the amount of where she's come from, where she is
Yeah.
now, where she's going to, from what I
We're
understand.
going soon.
Get out
The
of here.
timeline is coming.
Dodge.
It's very scary, but
Popsicle
it's
stand's
coming.
gone.
Right? Yeah, no, the pop. Look. Yeah, it's like,
Look
it's
at it
like
quick.
we've done that before.
I'm impressed,
Yeah,
Bonnie.
I'm very
Yeah,
impressed.
that's fine.
All right, so we're using our little induction burner here. We're just gonna sweat out some of the filling. So we're gonna add some oil, and we've got a little bit of garlic there. If you want to grab, there's cloths underneath if you want to wipe your hand.
And you just use like a neutral oil for that? What kind of oil do you use?
We use canola.
Okay.
So we either use canola or I would use part canola and part butter for a little flavor.
Okay.
I don't cook with olive oil. I
Right.
finish with olive oil because I
Right.
find when you put olive oil and you heat it, it changes the flavor and you can get really, really olively and it can kind of go a little, I'm not going to say rancid, but it doesn't have as high smoke point.
Okay.
Right.
So grapeseed, canola, sunflower, any of those, or mix those with butter so you add that lovely, luscious butter.
Everything's
flavor.
better with
You're
butter,
saying a
right?
little less chance of maybe making some mistakes. Like you said, if you had something that your timing was off or something, you were just doing olive oil, right? You know,
Yes.
we're all busy.
Right, and you know, like that, you've had dishes where they've used olive oil and it has that almost burnt
Yep.
slight olive, and
Yep.
they shouldn't have used olive oil as that application. It's a great salad dressing oil. It's a great finishing oil if you're doing fish and you want to just put a little olive oil over top. But
Steak maybe at the
steak,
end. It's nice.
well, steak's
nice
better with
finisher.
butter though.
I was
Fair
gonna
enough.
say.
Butter all the way, baby.
Maybe
Butter
maybe
all the
brown
way.
butter,
All the way. All
I'm
the way.
outnumbered. I'm outnumbered.
You're outnumbered totally. All right, so we've got a little garlic. I'm gonna grab another spatula because
I feel like it's gonna start smelling really good in here.
I think it
very
just did.
soon.
Yes.
I've got it now.
All right, you want to add those lovely, finely
Certainly.
diced peppers.
Certainly.
Oh, there we go.
So, a couple there.
That's it. I'm
All
going
right.
to knock over. All right, so what is the best part of your job? I mean, there's probably so many great parts of your job, but what do you love
There's
the
a
most?
few different ways to. I don't think I've ever worked at a job where when people ask me what do you do, that their faces have lit up as much when I tell them. You know what I mean? Like everyone gets excited. Like I've never
Yeah.
met anyone be like, "Oh, you work there?" Like, what? That's awesome. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
You get a lot of oohs and ahs.
You get a lot of oohs and ahs for
Yeah.
sure. You know what I mean? It's,
Do you
it's a
find
beautiful
that
thing.
people know about like the whole process, or do people just go, "Oh yeah, I've heard about you before"? Because I didn't appreciate
Right.
the process, the level of patterns that you
Definitely.
have. Like I didn't understand the scope of everything that you guys do.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it's amazing.
There's a lot. Like you said, you know, if you get a chance to ever come down on the waterfront in Halifax and check it out, you know, it is a beautiful thing to see. It's mesmerizing. It's awesome. But the thing is, when you're there, sometimes you just see that, but there's so many other hands involved to make things happen. You know, we said, you know, Stacy's involved in things here. I'm involved in the first part of the process, and in between, there's so much more, right down to marketing and everything. So
And you're not
really,
just sales. I mean, you're helping design
Yes, no, it's
things
just-
and
Yeah.
like
jack
talk
all
about the
trades.
glass. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so we recently launched our stem tulip beer glass, which is pictured on the front cover of our new catalog. And I actually worked with the brewmaster at Keats to develop that. And I was working on it for about a year. So there's lots of things that go into our new products. Lots of collaboration with local businesses.
Definitely.
So this glass, the stem tulip beer glass, was actually designed to enhance the flavor of beer. So it comes to a narrower
Which is an important
point.
thing.
It's very important, right? Especially if you have an awesome local beer, you
Yeah.
really want to get the most out of it.
Yep.
So it comes to a narrower point, so it captures the aroma, so you're going to smell the undertones of the beer, everything that you want to pick up on before you taste. And then it flares out, so it's going to splash all the way across your tongue and not just on one part of your tongue. So you're going to get the maximum of flavor that way as well. So it's a lot of thought and a lot of effort went into this glass, and really goes into all of our pieces. We put a lot of consideration into it, and of course, product testing as well.
Of course. Yeah, you had to try a few beers to make sure the
beers,
glass worked.
yeah.
I mean,
There's always new barware coming out, right?
Oh, we have some questions, do we?
Well, we have Jocelyn McIsaac said better with butter.
Oh, always better with butter.
Who knows NovaScotian Crystal? Maybe Lenny is
Jay-
talking about your night skills.
He's
Oh,
got
he's got it down, Matt.
Night skills.
Take
and then
that.
James
Great
Wire.
suggestion.
James
Oh,
Wire
James.
just won
Thank you,
Real
James.
Estate
That's
of
right.
the
You
Year.
did Real Estate of the Year. That's right. I read that recently. Thank you,
He's
James.
awesome. He sold my house.
I follow James.
awesome.
He said worked across from them 5 years. Always a great experience to watch them work,
Yeah.
which is true.
It's
Honestly,
true.
James is the best for a reason.
Yeah. And you can see the passion that the craftsmen have for the work just reflected in the pieces, and I think the biggest thing is they really take pride in what they do, and that makes us different.
How many craftsmen are there?
So we have about 20 craftsmen in total that work in our factory, and they all play a part in creating the crystal. So everything from blowers, finishers, cutters, polishers, people in our repair department as well.
So, like, if you have a master craft that's amazing blower, is that all they do, or do they take part in all of the process?
They generally, well, there's almost
Or are
like
you just like, I'm the best polisher?
No,
here,
no,
so
no.
I'm
no,
going to
no.
be the polisher
That's one
here.
thing. You know, there probably could be, but there isn't. Doesn't seem to be
Okay.
a lot of ego where we work, which is very nice because we all have to work together. So no one's
Yeah.
above anybody. Of course, there's, you know, like I said, there's craftsmen and master craftsmen, but everyone knows that we all need each other to make it work. In regards to that, though, I suppose I lost track of my question. Of course,
I was just going to say,
How many-
no, I'm like, does everybody have a special job?
So there's sometimes. Well, what you will see is that some people
like yours,
blow-
furnace man.
That's it's very different. Some people are very good at blowing larger pieces. Some people make smaller pieces. So, I mean, you've picked up these glasses. There's a weightiness to them, right? You know, it's
They're
very
lovely.
They're very, very nice in your hand. That's for sure.
They're even better when they're full with a drink.
Right. That's usually that's
not
what we
gonna
recommend
argue
them.
with you.
That's what we recommend. We recommend them with a drink.
Yes.
But yes, so you know, you will get people that specialize in certain things. Some people are, you know, some people just work with stems. Some people just do heavier pieces.
Wow.
So there is.
I kind
there's
of
a little
see
bit
it as
different
like
going
university. You have your major.
on. Got your major.
So
Okay,
some people
okay.
major in blowing,
Yeah.
some people major in cutting, other people will stick to the polishing.
Okay.
But maybe you take a few side courses
Yeah,
here.
and maybe there's a double major and a side minor or something like that, right? You get
That's
some of
really
those sometimes
cool.
too, right?
Yeah.
Depends on who it is.
But and different people do different aspects of the job too. So the blowers are very team oriented. So it just to create this piece, it actually takes about 3 blowers just to create
Really?
the shape.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Very
there's
complicated.
one person who would do a ball gather, so creating a small ball on the end of one of our blowing irons, and then they would pass it off to another craftsman who would then gather more crystal from the kiln to add to the ball. Then that's going to create kind of the outside of the piece. Then they'll use a shaping tool just to make the right kind of shape for the mold, and then they'll drop it into a mold using their breath to expand the original ball that they made to create the inside walls of the glass. Then what they'll do is they'll pass it off to another craftsman who will do a kind of an initial inspection of the piece, make sure it looks good, and allow it to cool. At that point, the piece is actually probably about 400 to 600 degrees Celsius. So
pretty
you'll
hot.
see like
And
this,
it's cooled state?
Yeah.
and it's cooling.
Oh my gosh!
It's essentially molten lava, right? Like really, it is.
Yeah.
Like when it's up to temp to be melted properly, it has to be there for at least 12 hours at 1400 degrees centigrade.
Yeah.
So it's like it is very, very, very warm. So if
They're
you don't like- if
laughing
you don't
over
like-
here. Somebody must have made something funny.
If you can't take heat, get out of the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so that's
All
why
right,
it's-
Craftsmen definitely like the heat.
Yes.
We are going to stuff these mushrooms. All right, so we're going to lay these out on a pan. So I have a beautiful little half-sheet pan.
I thought it was interesting here you did this too. You got all your ingredients that you need to get hot, but this is cream cheese we had
This
here,
is
right?
cream cheese.
But we didn't heat the cream cheese.
No, because you
Because
add the
we
hot
have the heat.
ingredient, and then if you just use your spatula.
That's right.
Now you could.
That could be key to some things, though, right? A lot of people would probably maybe they wanted it, and then you
Or
get
they'd have to get the KitchenAid out.
a
and they have
really
to
messy
whip-
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
So
just
just
saved us a lot of time with that.
exactly.
Right.
It's all the time saving, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
So this is a little bit that I had left over from earlier when we. Thank you, Chef Andrew.
Just wouldn't let me eat it.
Yeah, no. So that's it. So you could use a scoop to put these in, or we're going to use the magic of piping bags because we use a lot of piping bags.
Perfect.
But if you wanted to use teaspoons, we can have one of these, or like if you have a Ziploc bag or some sort of plastic,
Same kind of thing.
same sort of thing. Just cut the corner off. So
Whatever you have access to.
cuff it over so that you don't make a mess, and then you're just going to fill it. right? Which is pretty easy. Simple, simple. And then if you want,
I would have that like all over
Already,
my arm.
yeah.
and-
I would have put the bag on the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
you're hilarious. All right, so let's lay these out, and then we're just going to drizzle them with a little canola oil. So I think that's in the scope.
Okay.
Either one of you could handle that.
I can leave it to you.
Okay.
Those chopping skills.
I mean, I don't want
I
to.
know. It's like he knows what he's
I don't
doing.
want to
know,
over oil
right?
anything here. You know, I don't want to over
Well, you
oil.
got to lay them all out. Come on.
I was doing one at a time.
Process.
No, I was
Maybe I
trying to
should do it.
systematically, right? Systematically.
Cool. All right.
How long will if you were to make those for your bringing to a holiday party? How long could you do those in advance in your fridge? Because I know mushrooms kind of can be delicate, but
You could make these up to 48 hours in advance. You totally could. You can freeze them.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you're going to freeze them, what I would do is I would roast your mushrooms off and get some of the moisture out of them, and then freeze them, and then have your you could make this mixture and keep it in the fridge for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then all you're going to do is fill them and take them.
it's
Right?
a great thing to bring.
Yeah.
But I know mushrooms. Like people love stuffed mushrooms.
Love
So
Love them.
They're delicious. It's a great
Yeah.
vessel.
It's a
Do
great
you want me
vessel.
just to kind of
Yeah,
go over a
just
little,
do your thing.
little something here?
Yeah, do your something
A
something.
little something, something.
You're right on. Look at that.
I feel like I just got back from the salt
All right,
and
and then
pepper
we're just
concert
gonna
there with my something,
season a
something.
little bit because I'm all about salt is an important ingredient.
And it's almost Christmas, speaking of seasons, right? So
Yes.
that's right
Oh.
here, so we'll keep it all on the
Yeah,
same page.
and then we're just gonna fill her up.
Excellent.
I want to do this.
I think you should do this.
She's
yeah.
gonna do
Yeah.
this.
It's
She's
got
got
it.
it
much
right
more of a
down.
delicate touch than I do, obviously. You saw me put that oil on there. I can't do the same thing with this.
Look, yeah, she's got it right down. Beautiful.
Well done.
Now,
It's not just Dawn
I
in the
may
kitchen.
no,
have
definitely
done
not.
this
No, you should hear the
before.
stuff
Oh,
Stacey's
God.
making all the
That's
time.
okay.
Now it's going
No, no,
sour.
you're perfect.
No, no,
You're
you're good. And then
perfect.
look, you just use your finger.
It must have been
Okay.
over oiled there. It slipped all over the place. That was, I told you,
Thanks,
right?
Sophie.
You know?
Cool.
Excellent.
So what else is exciting down at NovaScotian Crystal? I mean, it's holiday season coming up, people.
It is.
And Crystal makes amazing gifts.
It does make a good gift. I'll tell you what is very unique is, well, obviously all of our pieces are unique, but one of the things we sell a lot of, and it's kind of a traditional piece, but it's a bauble. So you see like a glass ball. Yeah, I call it a bauble,
Okay.
B-A-U-B-L-E. But
Or the ornament.
I saw the ornaments.
So
in
I,
there.
I believe that bauble is the traditional name for ornament. And the only reason I actually know that from a White Stripes song, I think, where someone's up the morning breaking baubles in the kitchen. So I didn't really get it until I started there, and
One
I
of
said,
those
"This is a
useless
bauble."
facts that's stored in Donnie's head.
Yes.
No, we're kidding. We're kidding.
There's
We're
many.
talking-
Netflix is, or sorry, Jeopardy's on Netflix now. Tournament of Champions. I thought maybe in a hypothetical situation, if I need to know some things, I study that for a bit. So
Look
right
at
before I got here,
excellent job.
I have
Excellent
the
job.
ornaments on the screen right now. People are seeing. So is there
Awesome.
one? Is there a year?
Every
So
year we do a
is there
different
one
one.
that's-
So we do a yearly ornament. So every year we do an annual ornament with a different design, and it will also have the year hand etched by one of our craftsmen on
Yep.
it. And we have every year since 2000. So if you're looking for previous years,
Exactly.
if there was a special anniversary, a special occasion, a birth of a
Yep.
child,
Yep.
it's really special to kind of get that particular year for that occasion.
And I would also assume, because I know you do a lot of custom work, that you could do custom ornaments for corporate clients
Paneling and
or
such.
Yeah,
people
the
that
way
wanted.
the way that we customize our pieces is we actually offer sandblasting. So,
Yes.
Awesome.
yeah, so you can personalize it with a name, with a monogram, a special anniversary
That's
date,
great.
anything like that, just to make that piece that much more special. And we have the ability to do that on a lot of our pieces. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, and yeah, it just adds that special little touch.
Is this your busiest time holidays? Or is
It's kind of our busiest time runs from about June until the
June?
end of
Till
December.
June till
Okay,
June, probably.
it? You're like us. We're busy year round.
Exactly.
Yeah, and but we have about 3 weeks in kind of late October, early November, where things kind of die down, and then right back up for Christmas season.
Yeah, we get about 10 days the first of November.
That's
We're
it,
in
right?
it the first 2 weeks of November, kind of, and then all of a sudden we just, pow, here we go, right?
Yeah,
That's-
off
that's
to the
your
races,
hibernation.
I guess, as they say.
Exactly, off to
Yeah.
the races. So we've made our little canapes, and how easy was that? Like literally 4 or 5 ingredients.
I can do that.
You can do that.
Pretty good.
Anybody
It's
can
all right.
do this. Little cheese. We're gonna pop them in the oven, and then we're gonna bring them out. But then we're gonna make a cocktail with some of these beautiful pieces that they brought along. But one of the other things, I mean, we'll talk about the pieces, but you should also show off the packaging because the packaging is gorgeous.
So I can't.
You don't get excited
Yeah,
about
well, no, I get excited about packaging because I can't wrap anything. So when I give people these presents, which is what I had done for the first few years I worked there, was I'd give these lovely presents. Of course, I can't wrap anything, which is why they made gift bags, wasn't it? That's what gift bags were made
Yes,
for.
exactly.
For guys, that's what I thought they were for anyway. But when you see these things, there's many options. You've you've got 2 or 3 different colors, and like a few different ribbons,
So,
different occasions.
All of our pieces come in one of our signature orange boxes, like you're probably seeing right now. And depending on the piece, it will depend on the size of box, of course. We also offer complimentary gift wrapping on all of our orders. So if you're like Donnie and you do not like to gift wrap, we got you covered.
Or like many men and husbands that don't like
Yeah,
to.
you just have to walk in, tell us what you
Last
want,
minutes.
and then put
Yeah.
it under the
Hospital
tree,
Larry's.
and you're good to go. So yeah, we have lots of, I guess, professional gift wrappers
Quite
who can
impressive.
help you in our showroom for sure.
Cool.
It's here.
Oh, my husband's here.
Yeah, well, he said, oh,
He's-
wow, the host is hot.
Oh, thanks,
Boy
hubby.
Ted.
Yay.
Boy Ted. Ted knows.
Yeah, oh yeah, Ted knows. That's very exciting in our
It's like,
world.
what's broken at home?
Yeah, what happened to the kids
Yeah, what
tonight when I
happened
get
at
home?
home?
So we're gonna do a little cocktail. Now you could make this a mocktail, but really, what's the point? No, there's lots of people that like mocktails. So we have some cranberry, we have some clementine, some Pellegrino, we have some beautiful fresh oranges, and we have some cranberry chutney, which you think is a little strange, but cranberry chutney in a cocktail is actually quite delicious. It brings like a little.
You do marmalade.
Didn't I? Remember the marmalade drink I made?
Delicious.
I know.
Yeah.
They just come out of my head.
Yeah.
But you could also use, and this was a tip that I think Letty actually shared with me, is that if you use frozen cranberries, you can use them instead of ice cubes.
You'll
And I
water
was
down
like,
your drink. Yeah. It
Doesn't
looks
matter.
good.
Smart cookie.
It's gonna keep
Yeah.
it cold. Yeah,
Exactly.
refreshing little flavors.
Especially like I find when I make like cranberry sauce, I always have like leftover cranberries, and I never know what to do with them.
Yep.
yeah,
Just
no, it
pop
makes
them in the
perfect
freezer.
sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do it for like summer. In the summer, I'll take cranberries or fruit if I've got leftover fruit or fruit that's kind of turning, and I'll put it in ice cube trays and I'll put wine and freeze it. And that way, if you want to chill your wine or keep your wine cool, or you want some sort of like sangria, it works
Sangria, I
really
was
well.
thinking,
right?
And even red wine, like if you're getting to the or like I don't drink a ton of red wine, so if people come over, I usually have like a little bit left. I'll just do that and freeze it, and then you can even pop that in any kind of sangria
Yeah,
in the
no,
summer.
for
It's
sure.
great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
And it doesn't water down your drink.
Thanks
And
for
then put it
watching.
in a beautiful pitcher.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this is a pretty impressive. Which pattern is this?
So this is the Windsor Pattern.
Okay.
The Windsor Pattern is inspired by Windsor, Nova
beautiful.
Scotia. Yeah. And Windsor was originally a shipbuilding town,
bang this
so
over
it
here.
kind of helps tie that history into the pattern. So you can kind of see the mass with the 3 lines, and then the curves over here represent the sails of the ship. So everything has a story behind
Yeah.
it, and the more you look at it, the more you're
Christmas,
like,
I'm telling you.
Ginger's done her Christmas shopping.
And we're saying too, this is like one of the finest patterns been pointed to me before. That it's kind of like it's an amalgamation basically between contemporary and a modern piece,
I was
right?
just
You
gonna
get
say
a
that
little bit
looks
of
like it'd be a lasting pattern,
Yeah.
like no matter.
It's
how
yeah, that's not
many
gonna go
years.
out of style.
I
Yeah,
find it kind of has an Art Deco look to
Yep.
it too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a good mix of modern and traditional.
I even just think these are super cool. Like all sorts of little vessels, your bar garnish out, like for a holiday party. You could have all the things,
Limes,
lemons. Like
Definitely,
this,
yes.
how beautiful is that?
And
that
that's your
and that piece is called the curved bowl, and that one comes in 7 different patterns. So lots
Really?
of variety with
So you
that
could
one
have
too.
the whole thing in different patterns too, right?
So if anybody's listening, Patty's favorite pattern is called Luna.
yeah.
Just in case anybody was
I
questioning
thought
that.
maybe Ted was on there earlier, so he might.
Yeah.
That was
Judge.
Yeah.
directed to someone in particular.
All right, I did not cut this all the way up, so I will cut it out. So I'm going to add just some orange segments. I've peeled them. And this is just going to get some nice fruit in there and some fresh juice. And then we're going to add some vodka. We have some local vodka here. Or I have gin. I'm lying. It's not vodka, it's gin. Because I pulled it earlier.
I'm a gin
Yeah.
drinker
Are you a gin
myself,
drinker? Okay.
so-
That's what I would rather take. Right?
Ironworks, delicious. We usually have their vodka and their gin. All right, so we're going to add that in. And I don't measure. That's just not my thing.
When you're at home, you don't have to,
You don't
right?
have to, right?
You're not going anywhere.
And then look, beautiful. Oh my goodness. I feel very sophisticated pouring out of this and not out of a plastic bottle.
It looks
We
very natural
talked
for you.
about that earlier. You know, people buy these things and they're afraid to use them.
Yes, no, of course not. Like that's one thing about these. You know, why would you ever give someone so nice and say, you know, don't use this? It's not a picture for the wall.
Let's
You know
dust
what I
it
mean?
up on the shelf
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
this is a functional, practical. Many of them are functional, practical pieces. All these things, you know. It shouldn't be like you know, your mom made a trifle and just brought that one, you know, bowl out. You can do it for any of these
It
things,
doesn't
right?
have to stay in the china
No,
cabinet.
it's not for that.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Yes.
Bring them out every day, and like even for me, like I drink water out of mine.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Yeah, they're there to use. It's functional art, so we
Yes.
want you to use it. It's there to use. And one great thing about our product too is we offer a 1 year no fault guarantee.
That's very
So-
impressive.
Yes.
So if anything at all happens to your piece within the year, it can be replaced. And I mean anything at all. If you drop it on the floor, if a dog comes by with their tail, knocks it
Yeah.
off the counter. We ask stories, but we don't judge on the answers.
Right.
So.
I love
That's a
that.
pretty cool
That's
guarantee,
that's
It's
very
awesome.
cool.
Crystal Clear Guarantee
Very
is,
cool.
I think, an exceptional thing to offer, actually.
And plus,
yeah.
you can see, and of course, like the one that you purchased within the year, that's the one that you give your klutzy friend, right?
Right.
At
yeah,
Christmas
exactly.
time.
Exactly.
Looks pretty, looks pretty.
That is a lovely looking
Beautiful.
cocktail.
Nice, and we're gonna top it up with a little bit of our sparkly Clementine. You
Very
could
nice.
use anything.
That's a gorgeous
Again,
color.
you could do
Yeah,
grapefruit.
that is a really nice color.
Isn't it? I know, we're just so on the ball here. Patty imagined it. I'm gonna get really old school because I think this is cool.
It is almost like an
It
old
is.
fashioned
It's
look.
like an old fashioned look, but it's modern and
Well,
it's a new take.
It's almost like Don Draper there.
All right.
Don Draper.
You don't have to drink it, but you have a little sip.
I'm gonna
you gotta
have a
try a
little
little
sip.
sip. I put it in the
It's
shaker.
already in there. Oh,
It's in
that was
You
supposed to be
could
part of the
float it
reason.
in the glass if you wanted to,
It is
but it's
very
gonna.
lovely.
There's a little vinegar in there. There's a little.
Oh my gosh. That
Do we
is-
like?
That is.
I can make drinks too.
And Chris Smith, you probably know Chris Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Chris Smith.
Doesn't everything taste better in Crystal?
Oh, 100%.
I'm telling you.
100%.
I'm telling you, there's something about it. It is. I mean, you know, all our glasses get polished a certain way too, and that gives them a lot of their allure as well. It's a very smooth finish. There's something about the feel of it. These are a great glass for that specific reason. Obviously, you know, your hand can cradle this. It's a nice thick glass too. It shouldn't warm up too much, so it'll keep your, you know, your cocktail a little bit colder. Yeah, and there's something for everyone. There's different sizes. You know, we have one as a double barrel tumbler. This is just a regular barrel tumbler, a little bit larger for a larger drink if you need it, or bigger hands if you have.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the case may be. So, no, there
And-
should be something for everyone.
And I get the question a lot too, do I have to buy 6 glasses and buy 6 glasses at once and then
Right.
spend a lot of money
What do
on
you
them?
mean? Did you get that question tonight, maybe?
I think I know someone who wants 6 glasses. That's all I know. That's all I know.
It's I always say to people, it's great to collect slowly over time, and even if you have the one glass, that's your one special glass,
Yeah.
and that's the glass that you can use all the time. So it's not about having a full set; it's about what fits best in your life.
So on that, if you are collecting it, the patterns are.
Have you ever discontinued a pattern?
That's what, yeah.
They are
Yes.
here to stay. We
Okay.
are not yeah.
That we've made, yeah.
We're not in the habit of
Like
discontinuing
last
patterns.
5 and I need one more.
Yeah.
It happens though, right? It
Yeah.
totally happens,
Right?
right?
We're not in the habit of discontinuing
Okay.
patterns. If anything, we'll add more pieces to the
Okay.
pattern offerings than take anything
Okay.
away.
Right.
Just curious.
Very cool.
Oh, of course.
Those are beautiful.
And also, you know, if you're all having the same drinks everyone was having, the same cocktail that, you know, we decided to make here, whatever, or a glass of red wine, whatever the case is, you know, if you're someone instead of, you like a little bit of variety, you can get, say, like one of each. You don't have to get 6
yeah.
of the same. That way people know what their glass is. You know, you see oftentimes people have little markers on wine glass, whatever.
Yep.
You don't need that here. You know, everyone will know what's your pattern. I'm a Windsor. What are you? I'm a Titanic. I'm a Titanic.
And that being said, it's a conversation piece at dinner.
Exactly.
Right? So you can talk about the inspiration behind the patterns, and maybe you have a funny story about the Citadel or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
So you can.
I think
talk
it's
about it.
important to remember that these are art pieces and the craftsmanship that goes in. I mean, there's so much inexpensive stuff that you can buy, which doesn't have the same feel. It
Yeah.
doesn't lend the same, like, there's something about the tradition of this, and just, I don't know, I think it elevates the experience.
Definitely.
I do agree
And every day,
wholeheartedly,
what's the word? Elevates every day, right? Like you can, like you said, breakfast to dinner.
Yeah.
I just think we should use more of it.
And don't
totally
you feel
agree.
great, like maybe giving your friend this
Yeah.
and saying this beautiful cocktail in this beautiful glass, and
Yeah.
it really says I appreciate you and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never given anyone these gifts and they'd be like, oh, thanks, toss it in the corner and back to the coloring book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yes, people have definitely, you know, I don't know if revere's the best word, but you know, in a certain way, they look at this and their eyes light up. They do get excited. They
It's
do
very
feel
impressive.
appreciated. You know, so yeah, I would have to agree wholeheartedly.
And we are open all year round. So some people think that we're just open during the summer months, but you can go to our showroom all year
Yeah.
round. We're open all throughout the winter.
And where is your showroom?
Our showroom is on the Halifax waterfront.
Yes,
If
it
you
is.
know where the Halifax ferry terminal is, we are right next to it. And our craftsmen also work all year round. So you can come into the showroom and watch them blowing during the week as well and see the process. And really that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And we're so proud of what our craftsmen do, and just to watch them and see what they do, I think it's something really special, and especially because we're the first and only in Canada to do anything like this. So, yeah,
that's awesome. Anything else that we missed or that you want to touch upon before we finish up?
Yeah, Christmas season is fast approaching, so
Luna. Luna.
So yeah, you can order online. We have a website, NovaScotianCrystal.com. You can certainly give us a call too. All of our contact information is on our website, or if you can follow the Facebook page as well. Or you can pop into our showroom and visit us there.
Yeah, it's nice to always be able to like handle some things too. See, like, you know, you can see a pattern in front of
You
you,
have
see a
all the
picture.
patterns there in the showroom.
Yeah.
Everything's
obviously.
there, and everything's in stock. We don't make these for your specific order.
Right.
So if you come into our showroom, you can go home with a piece that same day.
That's amazing.
And of course,
Yeah,
we
last
do.
minute hostess gifts. Any?
There's so many things, right? Wedding gifts, especially too. There's so
Yeah,
many.
wedding
you know,
gifts.
Hopefully you're not getting married around Christmas time too, so then you don't get as many presents, right? Right?
Double
you know?
duty.
I'm not getting married.
I was
I'm
yeah.
married.
I was always
That
yeah. No,
ship
I just
has
mean in
sailed.
general though, right? You know, like I don't know how people ever had like birthdays on Christmas Day. I'm sorry for you.
2 for 1 is all you're getting.
Yeah.
They really, anytime in the week of Christmas, you feel sorry for them. My daughter's born on New Year's Eve, and she doesn't appreciate that now. When she's older, she'll appreciate it because it's a party every
It's
year
gonna
on
be a
her
great time.
birthday. It's going to be great, but she still gets the, it still falls really close to Christmas.
I'm
it's
in
not
the end of January, and
And
I
you still feel
get
it?
that.
Oh, yeah.
Once you're into February, maybe, but I don't know.
Right. You're special. You're special. You're special.
You could say that.
No, I said it. Everyone heard me.
Well, try mushrooms, see if you like them.
And these are these pea shoots here? What do we have for our garnish? What is it?
Well, I think Riverview must have dropped us a big
Ah, the
tray
old Riverview.
of
Riverview's good
mixed
too.
greens that we've been cutting off and using as garnish, and so they're just some
Yeah, they're
local
baby
greens.
stuff.
Do we
They're
like
Really
them?
hot.
Are they really hot? I'm sorry. Sorry.
My eyes will start
Little-
watering in a second.
I know they do
Yeah.
retain their heat.
They're delicious though.
Good.
And I
Very
feel like
tasty.
I feel like this looks impressive too. Like I put a lot of work into it.
And it was
What you
like
did.
4 ingredients.
Yep.
Wipe it out.
It's also great
Exactly.
as an entree with a salad. Like, it's not
I can see that.
need to be just an appetizer.
Because you can
Get 'em
fill,
out of
you can
those.
also fill portobello mushroom caps, which are really great too, and
Yeah.
have that with some salad, and that's a great
Yeah.
meatless Monday
It is
dinner.
a meat list. Yeah.
And if you want meat, you can add in bacon.
If you want
That
it,
makes
right?
delicious.
If you want it.
If you want it.
Butter and bacon.
Butter and
Butter and
bacon.
bacon.
Right?
Yeah.
We didn't use either tonight, but both delicious. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for coming on and
Thank
sharing.
you.
I've learned so much
Thank you
this
very
week, and I'm very excited. I will definitely be down to the showroom. And
Thank you
I,
so
awesome.
much for having
Yes,
us.
this was a lot of
We're
fun.
so
Thank you
happy
very
to
much.
be here.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, I see you too, of course. And
He's like, oh yeah, from way
stop
back.
it.
I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's going back.
I know, and all I had to do was stand here and cut a pepper, and I got
Yeah.
a drink and some, and I got an hors d'oeuvre. Like, so is this what time we do this every week? You
Every
come back
Wednesday,
in?
9 o'clock.
Come get yourself
9 o'clock,
cocktails and
yeah.
mushrooms.
Sometimes
Yeah.
we have live
We
audience
love
out
live
there.
audience.
We do, yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for watching. Awesome Pete's Chit Chat Cha.
Next week
week,
we have,
niche
niche
travel. Niche travel. Very excited. Patty is back. Patty is around now. It was a
Back
bit
in
of
the
a
zone,
break.
in the
I'm
zone.
getting there.
Back, she's ready.
It was a little, yeah. I was a little
Gears are
rusty out of the
turning
gear,
on.
but I'm good. I'm good. So thanks for watching. Tune in next time. We'll see you next Wednesday. Cheers.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you.